Hey guys, my name is Lindsay and welcome to the Lazy Lemon Creations podcast. This is episode 8, so thank you for joining me. It is September 1st, the first day of fall in my opinion, and I am so excited to be joining you guys today. And I've got a few things to talk about, so let's jump right in. You can find me on Instagram as Lazy Lemon Creations, and you can find me on Ravelry as Lazy Lemon. Both of them will be linked down below in the description box to where you can click the link and find me. Easy peasy, or at least easy peasy lemon squeezy as we say in my house. It has been nearly a month since I podcasted last. August was a lot of fun. It was back to school for my daughter. Some changes happened with my husband's job, which is a good thing. It's a positive thing. And so I'm just getting back into the swing of it. So let's jump into it. I do live in the heart of the New River Valley with my husband and our 2 children, a daughter and a son. And this podcast is all about my yarny things that I make. Knitting, crocheting, cross stitch, which I do not have crochet and I do not have cross stitch today. It's just knitting. But sometimes those will make an appearance as I jump into them. So let's jump into some FOs because I have some big news. I finished my Harry Potter socks. All 24 socks, all Advent socks, they're all done. I finished them. I actually can't show you. They're over in my living room. They're on a big white poster board, kind of like the one that's behind me here, for photo prep. I'm going to lay them out, take individual photos of them, and then compile them all into one photo. Hopefully. We'll see. I'm working on it. But I finished the last sock on the 24th of August. So this project has gone on since, I believe, February. Let me check my notes because it did. I started this project in February 5th. And it went all the way until August 24th. So that was 6 months worth of a project. And I loved it. It was so fun. It was 24 individual socks. So it was 12 pairs of socks divided over 6 months. That's 2 pairs a month, which is pretty good. I like that. And it's a sock a week, right? So, excuse me, I really enjoyed that project. I absolutely loved making it. I finished all of them in my heart. It's so happy because I finished it and it was such a big project and I'm so glad to have it done. But also it's a little sad because I now don't have that project anymore and I don't have that push, that motivation to keep working on it. So I don't know, it's a little bittersweet, but I enjoyed it. Anyway, the project is done. I am so happy. I was able to make 24 individual socks with 20 gram minis, and it was probably one of my favorite Advents that I've ever done. It's my only Advent I've ever done, but I'm not a big scrappy person, like scrappy blankets and stuff like that. I think they look cool. I personally don't like it as a style for myself. It's just not something I enjoy knitting. It's not me, and that's okay. But I finished it. So in the between time of August's podcast and September's podcast, I finished Madame Pomfrey's Tea Shop, I Killed Sirius Black, Occlumency Lessons with Snape, and Owls. So I finished those 4 socks between August from August podcast episode until August 24th. I finished those socks. All of them are made on, right here, ChowGoo red lace. Honestly, I don't know the length of my needles, 24, 32, I don't know. Not a 40, not a 16, whatever that middle ground is for ChowGoo red lace. And I knit them, but it's ChowGoo red lace needles on a 1.5, which is a 2.5 millimeter needle. And I love them. I love them so much. Every single sock was made on it with 64 stitches. I did a 2x2 ribbing on the cuff for 20 rows. Then I did a 30 row leg. I went into my heel flap and gusset with a contrast color. My cuff was also a contrast color. And then I knit the rest of the foot, and then the toe was also in a contrast color. My contrast color was Gothic Smoke by Yarn Cafe Creations. And the Advent was put together by Yarn Cafe Creations and Dragon Horde Yarn. And so it was Harry Potter Advent Year 5 at Hogwarts back in 2021. And it just made my heart so happy to be able to make those socks. I love it so much. So all of those are done. And it's bittersweet. I love it. And that is what it is. But that's it. There's no more Harry Potter Advent socks. So that project's done. That bag is sitting back here. And I will find a new project for it soon. No worries. The other finished object that I have was my 10th and final pair of socks for summer sock camp. I stayed up till well after 11 last night. I finished the project with 22 minutes to spare, but by the time I took the photo, woven in my ends, and posted it to Instagram, I had 12 minutes to spare before it was midnight. So I cut it very close on finishing these socks. But I finished these socks. Oh, let's make them look like socks the appropriate way. There's 2 of them here. And it is the colorway, the main colorway here is Solstice by Knit Picks Felici. And the heel, toe, and cuff is done in another Knit Picks Felici color named Brittle. And normally Knit Picks does not have solid Felici colors. Their solids are typically on Stroll. And typically that's what I'll do as my heel, toes, and cuffs with my Felici socks. But last year or the year before, they actually did release solid Felici colors. And so I had some Brittle that was a great match for this. You can kind of tell on this sock. You can see the difference in the Felici yellow. They're both Felici yellow. The Solstice yellow and the Felici yellow. You can kind of see that difference there. But it's hardly noticeable. They're going to be on my feet. No one's going to be looking that close. And no one's going to say anything about my feet because I don't take them on my shoes. So it doesn't bother me at all. They almost match. As you can see here, they line up there. But I'm off by 1 row. And so I know I started this sock first with the yellow. And I finished with the yellow. And so started with the blue, ended with the blue. And that's okay. My socks don't have to match perfectly. They make me happy just to wear them as is. And so that was my 10th and final pair for summer sock camp. I am so happy to be able to get that done in the nick of time. I also was able to enter them in the Knit All the Felici cowl that Lisa of 72 Stitches and Knit All the Yarn, as she is seen, known, and viewed as on YouTube. I was able to enter those into her Ravelry page as well. So double dipping, and I totally took advantage of it. I sure did. But again, that was also Magic Loop, ChalGoo needles, 1.5, same recipe. I do the same recipe for every single sock, unless it is a pattern sock, which I have yet to do. I follow that recipe to a T. So don't fix it if it's not broke. Let's jump into our August stats because I just showed you some finished objects. Let's talk about our August stats, and then we'll talk about my whips and go on from there. So if you guys can hear that, that is our upstairs bathroom. My kids and husband are up there right now, so if you can hear that noise, that's just the plumbing. And it's also not super late in the day. Normally I don't get to podcast until like 9:30, 10:30 at night. And it is 6:52 right now. I am so excited. So they've had dinner. They're upstairs playing. It is a Friday evening and I'm happy. So in the month of August, I finished 6 items. 5 of them being the Harry Potter socks. And then the Felici Solstice that I just showed you. And for my grams out that I did this year, It was 184 grams. I was so proud to get that number. And until last week, I was doing so well with that being my magic number. Well, I hadn't finished my socks yet, but my yarn out was doing great and August was staying 0 as yarn in. And then I saw some yarn on Instagram, and I've been following this dyer for a few months, and I really wanted a certain colorway that had sold out for pre-orders, and I wasn't able to grab it, and I was really upset for the summer. And I was like, if it shows up back in her shop again, I'm dropping everything and I'm buying it. And I did. So I bought some yarn. I'll show you in a little bit. So my yarn in is 220 grams. So close. So close. It's like 36 grams of a difference, I think, in what I knit versus what I brought in. Makes me so sad. So the year to date in grams, I am still down by 45 grams because of that purchase. Now, I am going to go in at the end of the year and actually calculate how many grams I've actually knitted throughout the entire year. But I also like keeping track of year to date, how am I fluctuating? Hope you like that display. And right now I'm in the negative from previously. I want to say I'm in the negative from what I've bought versus what I've knit, which makes me sad. But 45 grams, that's easy to do. I can do that really quick. But yeah, that is my August stats. And I have one whip going with me into September. So let's take a look at that. It is in my Kelly E. McD bag. I was able to purchase it on Instagram. It's like the rainbow spirals. It is the cutest bag. It is so versatile. Like, I can make it super, super small and squish it up if I need to, but it also holds a lot if I need to. And then this drawstring, I think Maddie, made by Maddie33, and she's also a co-host of We Share Needles podcast. I think she said that this is t-shirt material that the drawstring is made out of. I could be wrong. I don't know. But whatever it is, I love it. So let's see what's in here. My one and only whip following me into September is my Muscle Burrow. Muscle Burrow. Whoop! I just threw that yarn behind me. 1 second. Where did it go? Whee! I threw it behind me, didn't mean to, but oh well. I like to keep, when my hat gets to a certain length, I like to keep the yarn that I'm currently knitting with in the hat itself. Sorry, I've got hair all over me from bending over like that. I like to keep the yarn that I'm working with inside the hat so that I don't have to worry about tension or anything like that. I love this color. This is Knit Picks Felici in Bookshop. And it is a great red, light blue, dark blue, black, tan, and gray colorway. And it is so good to work with. I love Knit Picks Felici for a muscle burn. It's so versatile. And I'm getting ready to get to my beginning of round right there. Peekaboo. But let me show you the front side of it, because you can see my stitch marker. Maybe. Right there. You can see them kind of. Anyway. Hopefully I'm able to get that to focus. Probably not. But that little owl, his name is Earl. He is helping me. There we go. He's helping me on this project. I got him from Twin Mountain Handcrafts. They're not local to me as in like I can go and buy it from them directly, but they are local to me as in the same state, and I'll take it. I will take same state shops all day long. To me, that's local. And so this is my Muscle Burrow. It is my relaxed knitting. I am in no hurry to knit on this. I have no recipient for it. It'll probably go in my donation bin, honestly, but I have no intended recipient for it. I'm knitting on it when I get to it, when I'm between projects like I am right now, where I finished the Harry Potter socks Last night I stayed up super late finishing the other knit pick socks. This is what I'm working on when I can. I will get more time to work on it because my son is getting ready to start preschool next Tuesday. I'm so excited. So I will get more time to work on this, but it's just not something I'm working on right now, and that's okay. I don't mind. So that is my one and only whip, and I'm getting ready to cast on at least two things, either tonight or in the morning, depending on how my time frame looks. So I had talked about this as a future cast on my last episode, and it is my Cuddle Bums yarn and my black knit picks Felici. It is going to be the Litmus cowl that I will have linked below, and I have a progress keeper ready to go for it as well. It is in my Ginger Snap Fibers bag. It's got a whole bunch of pumpkins and bats on the outside. It has a whole bunch of pumpkins and bats on the inside. It's an amazing bag. And I know I just today posted a photo of Instagram of that bag in a different thing of yarn, but something was itching at me to put my rainbow yarn in my rainbow bag, so I did. So my Instagram post is wrong, and I don't care. It's my yarn, it's my bags, it's my projects. I can change it how I want to. So I'm supposed to cast that on soon, and I am making that alongside Amie of Happy Little Yarn and Lisa of 72 Stitches, or Knit All the, nope, Knit All the Things on YouTube. And I just lost my train of thought, but we're working on that together. I think that's where I was going with it. I'm not sure. So then the only other thing to show you, we're done with whips. We're talking about future cast-ons and yarn purchases and everything else. So the yarn that I bought, that I said, if it shows up again, I am purchasing it, no questions asked. No questions asked. It is resting in my Happy Little Yarn. Boop, boop. Hello, Amie. It is it's resting. It is resting in my pumpkin spice latte bag that has my favorite color orange all over it. I am a coffee snob, and so it is by Cozy Cauldron Fiber Co. And it is roasted marshmallow. It is 100 grams of 75/25 and a 20 gram mini. And I have already caked it up because look at this. Look at this yarn. The browns, the tans, the whites, the creams, the speckles. Tiny little speckles of red and pink throughout it. It is the squishy. I've already caked it up. I've also already caked up the mini. I want to make socks out of this so bad. And so it's resting in my pumpkin spice latte bag. It's ready to go. All I have to do is cast it on. I'm just not in a cast on mood. I worked so fast last night to cast off some socks. I kind of needed a break today to decompress from that, and I haven't wanted to cast on. Even though I want to work on the projects, I don't want to start the physical cast on. So I'll get over that very soon because the want of the socks will speak to me even louder. And then the other thing I saw when I purchased my roasted marshmallows, toasted or roasted? Roasted marshmallows, my bad. When I purchased my roasted marshmallows was her color Monster Mash from the same Cozy Cauldron. There you go. Cozy Cauldron Fiber Co. It is Monster Mash. Let's see if I can get that to focus. There we go. It is also a 75/25. And this is what was on my Instagram post, and it's okay that it is no longer my Instagram post, because it's still yarn that makes me really, really happy. And it is this. Look at that. The greens, the purples, the blacks, and the whites in this cake. And the pinks popping through. Oh my gosh. It's so cute. I'm so excited for this. I cannot wait. I wanted toasted marshmallows to be the socks that I casted on whenever I got it, but then when I threw this in my cart and I see these colors together, it just screams at me that it also needs to be cast on right away, which is why I said I'm probably going to have 3 cast-ons, because I'm probably going to do 2 socks in that cowl. So I have to compose myself, and I have to find order. No, I don't. It's my life. If I want it to be crazy, it can be crazy. But I want to see this yarn, so I actually have it in a Delaque snap bag, and I get to see the yarn, and I will probably flip a coin tonight to tell me what to cast on, because I want to cast on something. I just don't know which of these 3 projects I'm going to cast on, whether it be socks, or a cowl. So we'll see. Both of those yarns, both of those bags, both of those yarns, my pumpkin spice bag and my Halloween pumpkins and bats bag, all of those actually are on theme for the new make-along that just started today. Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady is at it again. She has the best ideas, and she is such an influence to us in the knitting community. She decided that she wanted to get into the September, the fall, the spooky vibes, and so she is hosting the Crazy Spooky Make-Along for 2023. And all the rules are on her page, but I believe it's knit, crochet, cross stitch, anything that gives you those spooky Halloween fall vibes. I want to say if the yarn inspires you or the bag inspires you, it counts, and also whips count. I could be wrong on those rules, so please reference her page for the official rules, but it's just a fun make along just to get us all in the spooky vibes, and I'm here for it. September 1st is my favorite day. It is the day everybody returns to Hogwarts. It is, like I said, the start of fall for me. I love it so much. So I am ready to cast on something for that make along. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's all knit the spooky stuff. And along with knitting the spooky stuff, it also falls into the cowl that we should probably change it to a make along. Yeah, I will talk to Lisa and Amie about this and see if we can change it to a make along, because we're allowing knit and crochet as well. And it's essentially, the name is knit. Oh, I am about to say a bad word. If you have any little kids around that you don't want them to hear a bad word or anything like that, pause, plug their ears, whatever you need to do. Skip ahead 2-3 seconds. I will put it on the screen though so you can see what it is. But we are hosting the Knit All the Shit 2023. And it is going to go from September 23rd to November 30th. And it is to knit your stuff to get it done. Mostly like knit it for the holiday season. Get your gifts done, get it out of the way so that when December comes, you're not stressed about it. But let's be real, we're all going to be working on something in December that's probably a gift for somebody, because that's who we are as makers. It is what it is. Or at least that's how I operate. But hopefully this make along, cow, whatever we decide to name it, will inspire people to just get it done, work on it, dedicate some time to it, clear those needles, and get your shit done. Like, let's do it. So that's coming up later in September, and I am so excited for it because I need that motivation, and I like using hashtags. One of my favorite hashtags to use is Who Remembers. And if you know what else it spells, you'll be a friend of mine. It makes me laugh every single time I see it, because I never read it as Who Remembers. Test it out. And then that's it. That's all my yarny stuff. That's all all the projects, all the cast-ons, everything like that. So the only thing in life that we have is that my daughter is in school. She loves it. She's in 1st grade. She's losing her teeth. That sounds terrible. She has lost another tooth, just as normal 6-year-olds can do. And she's so excited for it. She loves it. She feels like such a big kid when it happens. My son starts preschool on Tuesday the 5th. I'm very excited for that. And my husband starts his new position as a lab tech on the 5th as well. He's very excited for that too. So on Tuesday, I'm going to have the house to myself. I'm so excited. It's going to be quiet. I'm going to get to play my music and clean the way I want to without having to do it around children. So I'm finally getting to that peak parenting point. I shouldn't say that. All points in parenting have their peaks to certain people. My favorite is the newborn stage. Love a newborn baby. Everybody is going to leave, and I'm getting to that point in parenting where I have the days to myself and I get to be the stay-at-home mom, but I don't have to be a mom in that moment. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I know I'm going to miss my kids. I'm ready to miss my kids because I think that there is growth that comes in missing your children to reflect on what you've come through as a parent and what you're going to go through as a parent. So I'm getting ready to enjoy that. And then I haven't read anything since the end of July. I read Verity by Colleen Hoover. That book shook me. If you've read it, message me on Instagram or comment below. I want to talk about it and I want to know what team you're on and I want to talk about how crazy it is. And then I'm about to start reading The Lightbringer by Brent Weeks. It's my husband's book. He's been begging me to read it for over a year now. I'm going to get around to doing it because I'm going to have the time. So that's it. That's all that we have in store here. If you can, like and subscribe. I also have a Ko-Fi account. So if there's any donations that you want to make to that, it goes right back into the podcast. And I just really am excited to see what September brings us. So I hope to get this podcast edited and up by Sunday the 3rd. And I hope that you all have a wonderful Labor Day weekend. And I hope to see you in about 2 weeks. Bye.